Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Carole and Tuesday, episode 17. So, last episode, we met Gus's first. Well, the first person Gus tried to help get into the music industry. Her name's Flora. They ran into her after they took these guys that they were getting as a backup band because they got a show at South by Southwest. Gus got him a show there, and they kind of thought we need a backup band. You know, maybe we should have a guitar player, drummer, and as they're walking by the shore, these three guys are playing their instruments. So they got lucky and happened to find a couple of guys to play for free. That was the big thing. They couldn't pay them, so they needed somebody who could play for free. Gus was a little skeptical at first, but then I guess during their practice, he warmed up to the idea because they were actually pretty good. And they dropped them back off where they met them, and that's where Carole saw Flora sitting on a bench, asked if that was Flora, and Gus was like, yeah, that's her. And they went over and he started talking to her. They went to, I guess it was a bar? Ow. More fancy than the place that he usually goes to. She's not looking too good. And he's asking her, how are you doing? Trying to find out how everything is with her music is. And then he stops partway through and says, oh, wait, that's right, let me go get us some drinks. He goes to go get drinks, and Carole and Tuesday kind of ambush him and are asking, what are you talking about? What's going on? And Carole asks, is it true that you're the one that discovered her? Which was true. He was the one that got her. Well, he didn't. I'll get to it. He says, yeah. And he explains the story about how he just left his band because, the whole situation with them apparently being was it a Motorhead rip-off band? I think it was Motorhead. And he left Earth and went to Mars, and it looked like they were just building Alba City because it was still under construction. But he's at this bar, and he hears her singing. So he grabs a flower from one of the vases that are at the bar he's at and goes backstage and gives it to her and tells her that she shouldn't be singing in a place like this and that she needs him. And from there, they started their journey to get into the music industry, make it big, and all that. He started getting her shows, and then finally somebody from a record label actually said they wanted to bring her on, and they went down to negotiate, and they did not want Gus being her manager. He said he figured she would turn them down, but she didn't. Instead, she went with them and left Gus. And then after that, her career took off. She became one of the biggest stars on Mars. And, the rest is, as they say, history. But nobody had heard from her for a while. And, let me see. She actually said that she needed to go. He didn't even get to get their drinks because he was telling Carole and Tuesday about what happened. And he's like, okay, let me see you off. He gets her a taxi, and taxi's asking her where's she going, and she's not answering because she doesn't have a place to go. So he has her stay with Carole and Tuesday for the night, where you find out that Flora was Carole's inspiration to get into music, that she came to her refugee camp one year, one day, and made a really big impression on her, and ever since then she wanted to get into music. But Flora seems like she just wants to stay away from music, because after she hears that, she apologizes to Carole, and see, as they're going to sleep, Carole and Tuesday are kind of talking to each other, and they're kind of wondering what's going on with her and how, they haven't heard anything from her in a while. And Tuesday kind of mentions that it seems like she's trying to avoid music. She can hear everything. She's in Carole's room, sleeping, lying there, listening to what they're saying. And in the morning, she leaves, before they get up. So they spend the rest of the episode, Gus spends the rest of the episode looking for her. And they go off to practice for their show. He pretty much made them go. They weren't going to go, but he said, no, you got to go and practice, and we'll meet you there. He's going to continue looking. Before that, he told the rest of the story about what happened. Kind of like what he brought up with Carole when the lady from Mars Brightest said that she had a lot of letters from people claiming to be her family. Gus said that once you get famous, family grows because of all the people that want money. So basically, part of the same thing. There were people that wanted money, but they also kind of hinted at her being addicted to pills because of the stress and everything from touring and having to be in the spotlight and all that. The record label dropped her, and then she just kind of dropped off the map. He had heard rumors of all of this, but never actually listened to any of it, thinking, it wasn't his place. He didn't need to. Wasn't his problem, basically. We find out at one little flashback when she says, she's, sorry for what she's about to do, but she's going to go with that production company. And he tells her, okay, go ahead and don't look back. He was very supportive of her, but he wanted to be, a part of it. And as she's walking off, you see him reach for her, but he stops, almost grabbing her hand. And you realize that Flora is the friend that he told Carole about when they were going to go and kidnap Tuesday from her mom's house. When he said that there was one person that he let walk out of his life, and he regretted never stopping them and pretty much forcing them to stay. It's Flora. He ends up finding her at the same fountain in that flashback, and convinces her to come with him, and they go to the show for Carole and Tuesday. They played one of their songs, and then the second song they played was Flora's song, the one that she was most famous for, and she got to hear them sing it. And while I don't know if she's 100% back on board with getting back into the music industry, she did look a lot more cheerful, and told Gus, I never told you a long time ago when you brought me that flower that it was beautiful. that's how it ended, showing that flower and the sign for South by Southwest. So I think she's going to be okay. Just it's going to take some time. She's on the road to recovery. It was a really good episode. Got a little more insight into Gus and learned about this new character, Flora. I don't know if she's going to be a regular from now on. I wouldn't mind if she was, but I guess we'll find out as the series progresses. So let's get into this and see what is going to happen. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. This one. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.